In this movie, I'll show you how to edit type that's associated with a dynamic Pathfinder operation. So let's say I talk to my client and I find out the name of the brand is not Shoop, it's Showop. So I need to insert this apostrophe into the logo. But that also means I need to modify the text inside the cover-up layer. So in order to follow along with me, you're going to need that font Hobo so that you can work with the editable type. Or you can go ahead and switch the type to some other font, or you can just watch me do it. Anyway, I'm going to switch over to this document here. And I want to edit the logo type, but if I click inside of the text, you can see that I'm selecting the type inside the cover-up layer. So if I start entering letters, I'm not even going to see them because they're invisible. So I'll press the Escape key in order to exit the text entry mode, and then I'll press Control-Z or Command-Z on the Mac in order to undo that change. All right, just so I can actually select the text on the logo layer, I'll turn off the cover-up layer for the meantime. And I'll click on the logo layer to make it active, and then switch back to the type tool. And I'll click very carefully here on the baseline for my letters so that I'm editing this text as opposed to creating a new text object. And then I'll enter an apostrophe between the two O's. Now I need to kern the text together, so I'll press Control-Alt left arrow a couple of times, Command-Option left arrow on the Mac. And by the way, I'll bring up my character panel so you can see that changes the kerning value at this location between the second O and the apostrophe to negative 120 thousandths of an M. And then I'll press the left arrow key in order to move my blinking insertion marker to before the apostrophe. And I'll press Control-Alt left arrow a couple of times, or Command-Option left arrow on the Mac in order to reduce this particular kerning value to negative 127. All right, now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and press the Escape key. Now that takes care of the logo, but what about the cover-up? Well, I'll bring the cover-up up. That is to say, I'll turn it on here, and then I'll twirl it open, and just so we can see what's going on, I'll meatball the rearmost circle and change that fill color back to cyan so that we can keep an eye on it. And it looks as if everything's in pretty good shape where the P is concerned, so that's good. However, we've got some problems over here with the side of the S. So the S is definitely getting cut into, and notice that I'm leaving behind a little bit of that black stuff that I was trying to carve away. So obviously that's no good. Here's the solution. I'll go ahead and zoom back out from this document here, and I'll turn off the cover-up layer, and then click on the logo layer again to select it. Press the T key to switch to the type tool, and then go ahead and click inside the text on its baseline in order to select it, and press Control-A or Command-A on the Mac to select all the text, and then press Control-C or Command-C on the Mac in order to copy it. Now press the Escape key in order to exit the text entry mode. Now what I did was copy the characters of text. I did not copy their fill or stroke attributes, nor did I copy any of the dynamic effects. So now I can bring back my cover-up layer here, and I can meatball the Shoop object there in order to select it, and press the T key in order to switch to the type tool. Click on the baseline, and notice, by the way, you want to keep an eye out for the I-beam cursor inside of a dotted square, because that means you'll create a new object. You don't want that. Instead, you want the cursor to appear as a plain I-beam like this. Then click inside the text, press Control-A or Command-A on the Mac to select it all, and press Control-V or Command-V on the Mac in order to paste that text, then press the Escape key to leave the text entry mode. And notice that the side of the P looks great, but it did before, so let's check out the side of the S, which is getting close, but is not encroaching upon the fill, and it's cutting away that little bit of blackness. So in other words, everything's in great shape. I'll go ahead and click on this larger circle to select it and change its fill back to white. All right, let's take in the final version of the document here. This is our logo featuring just gobs of dynamic effects. And as a result, we have not only a good-looking design, but an infinitely flexible one as well.